many of you either have a relative or know someone who's in middle school? Okay, so most of you, or all of you, have gone through this time, and you know how challenging that it can be. Many middle school students are getting bullied, and they need help, but they don't know how to reach out to people.
Bullying has negative impacts on the victims, bullies, and bystanders, but there are ways to help prevent this.
So this speech is going to specifically focus on bullying in middle school, and we're going to be covering 3 topics. First, Maya is going to be talking about some of the different types of bullying and why bullying exists. Second, Bria is going to be talking to us about some of the negative impacts that bullying has. And thirdly, I'm going to be talking to you guys about some solutions that exist and things that you guys could do to help prevent bullying. So while it might not be something you think about every day, there are many different types of harassment and abuse that can be categorized as bullying. And Maya is going to be talking about these different types and why bullies exist.
So first of all, why does bullying exist? The National Center Against Bullying, sponsored by Alana and Madeline Foundation, that was accessed on November 1st, lists 4 main types of bullying. Those are physical, verbal, social, and cyber. None of those are good, and there's many causes for them to happen. NoBullying.com, accessed on November 1st, lists both reasons that someone may be targeted and why someone may want to bully someone. First of all, the reasons that a person could be targeted to be bullied is because of their popularity, their weight, race, religion, sexual orientation, or any disabilities that they may have. They also list reasons why someone might want to bully others. The first thing that they said was that they are bullied by someone else. So usually that can be a parent or an older sibling or just someone that they know. And once they're bullied, they crave the power that the other person has over them. So they look for authority, and that usually is over their peers. So they lash out and end up bullying them. Another reason is because they may be jealous or frustrated. If someone's constantly getting beat, whether in sports or in classes, they will want to relentlessly tease and harass the person until they feel better than them. Another reason is lack of understanding. So if someone doesn't realize that they're being disrespectful, they're more likely to make jokes about race or religion. The last thing is the inability to regulate their emotions. So many people have a hard time maintaining control over themselves, so if they get annoyed, they'll usually lash out and explode because they can't control their anger. Uncontrollable impulses lead to lashing out, and that's when people get hurt. Now, Bria will tell you about some of the negative consequences of bullying.
StopBullying.gov, sponsored by a government organization and last accessed on November 1st, 2016, states that bullying affects everyone. Those who are bullied, those who bully, and those who witness bullying. Since we are speaking about middle school bullying in particular, I'm going to focus on how bullying affects kids in middle school. Kids who are bullied are more likely to experience depression and anxiety, increased feelings of sadness and loneliness, changes in sleep and eating patterns, loss of interest in activities they used to enjoy, decreased academic achievement, and they are more likely to miss, skip, or even drop out of school. Kids who bully others are more likely to engage in violent and risky behaviors that follow into adulthood, abuse alcohol and other drugs in adolescence, and as adults, they may get into fights, vandalize property, or even drop out of school or college, have criminal convictions, and as adults, and be abusive toward their partners, spouses, or even their children. As for the kids who witness bullying, also known as bystanders, they tend to have an increased use of tobacco, alcohol, or other drugs, increased mental health issues, including depression and anxiety, and they oftentimes miss or skip school as well. Obviously, we want to prevent all these negative outcomes. So Emily will give you a few possible solutions to help create a future where middle schoolers enjoy stepping into the school building every day.
So the most obvious way to prevent bullying in middle schools is to create policy that says bullying is bad and then implement it and read you what it actually says. And so Bullying in Schools, a book by Ken Rigby, states that there's 3 things that have to happen in the school before they can actually implement successful anti-bullying policy. One thing is the school community, students, faculty, and staff have to recognize that there is a significant bullying issue happening within their school. Second, these same people have to believe that peer victimization is a bad thing and that it has lasting consequences. And then thirdly, they have to be optimistic about this new policy that they're putting in place. Because if people don't believe that the policy is going to work, they're less likely to actually implement it and enforce it, and then therefore it will not work if you do not enforce what you put in place. Besides implementing these policies though, schools can work towards creating a more positive environment to also prevent bullying. This can be achieved by building strong character and shared values amongst the students. In one example, at Berea's school, they brought in a seminar called Youth Frontiers, and she's going to talk to you about that for a couple seconds.
Youth Frontiers is an organization that came to my school to basically prevent bullying, and their goal is to decrease the amount of bullying in schools and like tell other kids how to treat each other. They did a bunch of fun activities, small group sessions, and presentations to make sure the kids were having a fun time, but also learning how not to bully and like decrease and make their school just a better environment to be in.
And at my school, we actually had an organization called Sources of Strength. And what we did is we organized activities to try to get all kids involved, especially kids who don't generally hang out or aren't in sports, don't have a huge friend group. We did lots of random acts of kindness as part of the group, and we emphasized 8 resources that like all students have access to as a constructive outlet or a way to blow off some steam when they get angry. And because of this, our school became a lot positive and had a better environment.
So as you can see, there's many ways that you can help eradicate bullying. If you guys do your part, you can help middle schoolers see that bullying is a bad thing.
With all these ways to help prevent bullying, there is no reason it should be an epidemic in our schools. Preventing bullying will make the school a more delightful experience for all individuals. We covered the many reasons why a child may be compelled to become a bully, the negative impacts associated with bullying, and we demonstrated that every individual is affected in a situation of bullying. Finally, we gave you some solutions to help you become an advocate for anti-bullying policy.
And while as a college student you might feel really far removed from your middle school acquaintances, there is something that you can do today. Get out your smartphone and post something positive or something against bullying. Just being an advocate towards no bullying can show that this is a serious issue, and younger generations will take this into mind. They'll start to change how they feel, and they'll start to believe that they can have a more happy and positive environment in their schools.
An unknown author has a quote, "Pulling someone down will never help you reach the top." I hope that you guys can take this to heart and show younger kids how true it really is.